Hello everyone, my name is Ajith Joseph P and I am pursuing my third year BBA at Edu Skills International.
Hello everyone, my name is Ankith and I'm also pursuing my third year BBA in EduSkills International. So my friends, today we are going to speak about the importance of self-learning. So basically the concept of the day would be about self-learning and awareness of your own self when you learn. Is it?
Yeah. Basically, when it comes to the matter of self-learning, I always remember an incident that I have learned a lot from that incident. So when I was pursuing my second year BBA here, I was given the in charge of lab assistant. That means I had to take care of all the technical aspects of this institution, which includes all the computers, the camera part and everything. So I was in charge of it. Father Saleen had given me the in charge of installing a projector.
Yeah,
So,
I remember that.
Yeah, basically when it comes to the matter of projector, it is kept at maybe 9 to 10 meters apart from the wall. This projector, it was a short throw projector which has to be kept 3 meters apart, not 9 meters, it should be kept 3 meters from the wall. The thing that I realized as soon as the projector had come is, it's like this projector has to be installed scientifically. There is the length and the breadth and everything of the building should be known.
Okay.
So basically the thing was, this projector has to be fixed 3 meters and at a certain height from the ground. So that is how it should exactly project. So that I didn't know.
Okay.
Yeah. So when we started fixing it, I found that it is not this thing that it's not just 3 meters to be kept far from the wall. It should be kept like at a certain height also. But the problem with our building was it was a minimum, like it was maximum height that we could keep.
The ceiling
Level. Yeah, it was maximum, and above which you can't keep the projector.
Yeah.
But in order to exactly project, it should go a little more higher.
Okay.
So I was in complete dilemma. Like I went to Father Saleen and I told him, Father, this is not going to work because the ceiling has reached its maximum height and this projector will not project until it goes a little more higher. So Father, with no mercy, I was told, no, why did you order the projector then? It is your responsibility, you need to do it. Fix it anyway. See, like what happens to a second year BBA student, I never knew this thing will happen, and it is a maximum height that is already reached, and 3 meters, okay, it's fine, paka. So at this point of time, I felt like, okay, I'm nowhere because I can't do anything.
Okay.
So what the thing happening was, Father gave me the whole responsibility to me. Before, I just wanted to give my responsibility part or the risk that I had taken, like I just wanted to give to Father Saleen. So I told Father, this is not going to work. But he didn't take it. He wanted it to face. He wanted me to face the thing. I asked one of the persons like in Mangalore, okay, tell me what are the some other specifications, like how can I fix this problem. Father Saleen at the same time, he gave me before 6 o'clock in the evening, you should fix this. Okay, fine. And it is just like it was almost around 10 o'clock in the morning. And it happened, like I was in complete dilemma. I had tension, like it was of around 86 to 90,000 rupees the projector cost, and if it is not of no use, then everything will be in my head. So I was like, I don't know what will happen. So the thing was, like, again, after contacting all these people, the ceiling people, everybody I contacted, I told them you need to increase height, but that guy told me it's not possible because if you want to change this one, the whole ceiling setup should be changed. That is not going to happen, and that will not. So I again called one of the guys from Mangalore. He came down here and I stood up with him. He somehow made a hole into the upper ceiling, then he fixed it somehow. So what I was trying to say was, all this incident, if I would not have faced it, I would not have learned the part of problem solving. Maybe that day I learned how can I solve a problem without giving any shock to the higher authority. Maybe Father Saleen, when he gave me this responsibility, I should not have gone to him telling that, Father, this is not going to work.
you became shock absorber.
Yeah, I wanted to be a shock absorber in fact. But what happened was at that point of time I never knew I should be a shock absorber. But after that what I learned was if some responsibility is given to me by the higher authority, I should be a shock absorber. By not giving so much of shocks to him, I should absorb it, I should solve the problem myself and then clear it. So that is how I learned the skill of problem solving that day, because I was in anger basically, like why he's giving all this attention to me, because I was just a student. So but after a point of time I realized, okay, this was a learning from that experience. So that is what I have learned from this. There are many experiences, but this is when it comes to the matter of self-learning or problem solving skills.
This was one of the masters of your
one of my turning points, because I can understand when I started learning this, and now at this point of time I am able to absorb the shocks and not give to the top higher authority. I can solve the problems at this level, and for simple shocks I can absorb it easily.
Yes. So Ajith, I think we can conclude that as father gave you the responsibility. So it was all the responsibility which was given on your shoulder. Made you to learn things which you actually never would have not learned.
Yes.
You know, I think that would you coin that as a self-learning?
Of course, yes, because that day, if I would not have faced the challenge, I would not have learned. It was not taught by me like, okay, when this problem is faced, you should act this way. It was me who learned myself. Okay, at this point, okay, if there is a problem, so what shall I do? All these things I have learned myself. So I believe this is a part of self-learning, which I'm always grateful to Father Saleen, because he gave me an opportunity. Because if he would not have given that, if he could have solved it easily. He could have asked someone and come. But I was given that responsibility to go and meet people and ask them to come and tell them the problem and solve it. So that I can coin it as a part of self-learning from my life.
So the skill of problem solving you got to know from that one incident.
Of course, yes.
And being a shock absorber, how you can absorb the shocks where you did not allow others to get worried about all the projects which you were handling. I mean, so in a way you not just learned something, you have actually imbibed a skill.
Of course, yes. That realization had come to me after a point of time. Not exactly soon after when I went to bed, I just didn't realize that, okay, you have learned this today. But when I analyzed it, after a point of time, I felt like, okay, this was your learning from that incident. So that is after a point of time you understand, you realize from your previous incidents that okay, this was the skill that you have learned from them.
Ajith, what I see from here is that at that point of time a stimulus was given to you. Do you agree?
Yes, of course. Yeah.
So do you agree that to learn actually you need some kind of stimulus? It could be external or internal.
For all reasons you need a stimulus. For whatever you need to learn, you should have a stimulus within you. When stimuli is given, you will react for a particular situation. So when Father gave me that stimuli, I understood, okay, fine, you should face this. So for everything, you should have a stimulus or stimuli, I can say.
Yeah, definitely. So that was one of your major learning aspects.
So I have learned a lot from that. And at this point I know at least I should be a shock absorber to the people whom the responsibility was given because they are in charge of many other things. So I should not worry them with my simple problems. So that is how I have learned.
So so how did you feel after that? Because things must have become very easy for you, because what I can see from here is that once you have gone into that project, it gave you one whole visualization that how a problem can be solved. As you were telling me, you got to know how that measurements and all. I felt like you became an interior designer. So what I'm trying to say is, I think you have gone into detailing, which I believe when you are into personalized learning or self-learning, detailings are very necessary. So what do I mean by detailing? If I'm wrong, just correct me. What do I mean by detailing is that to understand the needs. It could be a smallest needs of your aspects, or which you feel like is necessary. If it is not done, I think things would not move.
Yes, correct.
Do you understand?
Yes.
So I think that realization came to you. You know, and to most of us, I think that realization comes if we are getting into personalized learning. That's what you wanted to say.
Yes. Because when you get into a situation, you know how to face it.
Okay.
Unless, as we were telling about the stimulus, unless you are given a stimuli, you will not understand how to face it. You should be involved in the learning part.
Yeah.
Like you can't read a book and get the skill. When you are involved in it, you will understand. Because from that example, that what I have learned is, you can, if things were given to me in books, okay, if this is problem is given, how will you solve it? And the answers are given, I would not have learned it.
Yeah.
So when I experienced it, I knew, like, because I was involved in it.
Yes.
It happened in last maybe a year ago.
Yeah.
But I still remember, I can experience it, I can tell it with so much of conviction. So only when you are experiencing it, you will learn so much.
Oh.
So without books, obviously they will help us, but after a point of time, your experiences will teach you a lot.
Okay.
So that is why we give importance to personalized learning or self-learning, in fact.
Yeah.
What experience that we have learned here, maybe at Unique, is a perfect example for experiential learning.
Definitely.
Because for everything you are getting into it.
Yeah.
It is just more than an internship or a job that you are going to do.
Yeah.
It is giving you a real life experience. For example, I can say, if I would not have come here, I will never come to know that what was my weaknesses. Like I was lacking in instruction receiving skill, and I never knew it. Only once I came here, I experienced the things. I came to know that I got an analysis that okay, you lack receiving instructions. So you need to build it up. So if I would not have come here, I'll just go to some corporate field someday. And I'll get into my boss chamber or my CEO's chamber, and I'll simply get scoldings because I don't really receive instructions, because that skill was not evolved in me. So when you come to know your weaknesses, then that part of learning starts, because now I know how can I receive instruction effectively. So that is again a part of self-learning. It is just more than an internship, because people nowadays say, okay, if you go to an internship, okay, fine, you have learned many things. But it should start exactly from the childhood, I believe, or from this primary education. If this experiential learning is started, then it will help you more. They will come to know the real life examples, the real exposures, so that even in exams they can write, okay, this I have learned in this place, or this experience has I have learned it through this experience. So that is how self-learning can happen.
So what I understood is getting aware of yourself.
Yes.
Because you are telling me that you got aware that what is required.
Yes.
You just mentioned. So what I feel is self-learning is all about getting awareness of yourself, about your surroundings, the needs and the requirements which you need to do. It's just like you try to make a supply of something which is demanded by you. So it's just like you are creating your own demands, which is not influenced by anything else. Okay, there's no external influence. Internal influence is obviously there. You need to. So it's just like you have created your own supplies. Like I think we are talking into economic terms.
Correct. Because you know there is a demand for your this skill, and you give that supply to you yourself. So you create the demand, you create the supply. So that is also a part of self-learning. That is called self-learning.
Supply and demand chain of yourself. Oh, that's great.
Let me ask you now. What is your take on self-learning?
Oh, my take on self-learning. I'll start with one thing. When you're plunging into self-learning or the so-called personalized learning, uncertainty of success is there. Okay, success is, so if you are thinking that you are going to be successful, no, it's not. So there is a uncertainty in success, but failure is definite. So if you have this attitude that you are going to fail, and you'll be taking that failure very gracefully as a part of your learning, then yes, you are into self-learning. Every time thinking about the success, because I know whatever I had started, or if I try to learn, most of the time I have failed. So it means failing in the sense most of the time my theories were incorrect. Okay. So in that sense, I feel like self-learning is something is like a failure. Okay, so we say that failures are the stepping stones to success. So yeah, So get failed just to learn.
Yes.
So I think that's what I use as my funda for self-learning or a personalized learning. Creating the theories which can be true, which cannot be true, or which can be challenged, which cannot be challenged. But you have at least a stand, your own point of thinking.
Yes. So that's so great. And is there some examples from your life so that you can quote as I have learned something?
Yeah, sure. First, I'll start with the recent one.
Yes.
So recently, father gave me to correct some of the papers. He just wanted me to go through it. So I remember when I had written my papers and when I had written my articles. So when I had written my articles, that time I think I wasn't that aware of that I made mistakes. When I had gone through the papers which was given by father, so what I learned is like even I make the same kind of mistakes, which I have actually ignored. Then what happened, I actually went through my papers and my articles and I saw that the mistakes which I'm finding there, the same kind of mistakes I'm making.
Yeah, that maybe you have lost the illusion of competence from that.
Yeah, definitely, the illusion of competence.
Yeah.
Yes, illusion of competence, definitely. When I thought, oh, I wrote article, it's in flow, it's perfect, I have given, but no, there were mistakes in that. Which I had not noticed at that point of time, but soon after doing that correction, soon after going through, I won't say that I did correction, I just went through and tried to analyze that do I make mistakes in the same mistakes, or the people, how others write. So it not just about the mistake, but even I made an observation how people's thinking are there, how do they think and how do they write, or am I different, or am I able to do something which others are not doing, so just to see that the confluence and influence of the whole factors and environment and how the knowledge flows. So it's like we call it knowledge economy, I think.
Yeah.
So just to get that, not just that, and I think, do you remember we were once sent for one training program where we were made to teach our peers, like there was a Shimoga?
Yes.
So I remember when I had to take class over there. I was taking a class of writing session. It was about how to write letters and all. I'll tell you, that was I think one of my greatest learning, which made me aware. So I got the self-awareness from there. When my teachers used to teach me, anyhow it was like they will just tell me, you just learn this, this is a format. But when I saw people over there, and somewhat I was trying to be the teacher which my teacher was, okay, and I found it wasn't working at all. And on that spot, what I did is that I made it into a step. I just broke that letter. I mean, nobody has ever done that, breaking a letter, because a formal letter or informal letter, it always follows one structure.
Yes.
But at that point of time, what I learned is you have to step out of that box. Until unless you won't go out of the box, I would have not been able to make 15 or 20 of them learn. So when I started breaking those structures, people actually started grabbing that easily. So it became very easy for them to understand. So I think that was one of my best learning, which I will say, that yes, you have to step out at any point of time, and that did not happen, and I had not planned in that way. So I observed there that people were not able to grab it, So I was very tensed. For some moment I stood like, oh my god, what to do? Then I just I thought, why not, let's give it in a step, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then I wrote it 2 steps where people, they can easily remember the steps. So the statements which I wrote was broken into steps, and I think not just I did not just make them learn, even I learned more than what they did.
Yeah. So Ankith, we are on to the last few minutes of our video.
Yeah.
So the final thing that I would like to tell to all the viewers of this video is take risks. No matter whatever the result is, like you said, take the failures gracefully.
Definitely.
Like self-learning does not always lead to success, but failures you should take it gracefully and learn from it. Then that part of self-learning begins. So I always want people or students or whoever is viewing this, I want you to take risk, take maximum risk, so that it's kind of gambling that we were discussing.
Gambling with your life.
Yeah, maybe. Take risks and learn from it.
Ajith, I think I would like to give a message.
Yes, of course.
I think most of the institutes, all the good institutes which we have, I think India is known for a lot of institutes. Yes. So what I felt from your example, every institute at least should initiate such self-learning kind of attitude towards their student. They should try to emphasize over that. After listening you, it all was like, yes, institute should be like a support system. Yes. Like the father was a support system to you. You knew in your head that yes, at the back he is there.
Yes. Even if I always believe, even if there is something going to wrong is going to happen, I know there is somebody at my back holding me.
Yes.
So that I can go and tell him. So there is a support for me, of course. Like even if I didn't want to go there, like I always believed that there was somebody.
Definitely. The belief.
Yes.
The belief and faith which the way you had, every student should be given that from their institute.
Yes.
And that would come once you have made them have faith on you by providing a good support system. Definitely they'll try to take risk, and as you have said, taking risk would lead them to get into personalized and self-awareness and learning.
Yes. Like I wish every student should be put into such situation where they can come to know about themselves, and exactly they can step into this self-learning aspect.
So the way I think institutes, they can actually take such steps where they start involving their students into their programs, try to take them the responsibility, give them the responsibility, or make them work with themselves so that they can learn about the administration part, management part, the way Ajith was doing.
Correct.
And I think he's still doing that. So I think every institute should have that attitude. Then only the real learning will come. And I, as a student, I really I really aspire to see that.
Yes.
Which every institute and stakeholders such as us, where I feel like if I will get into such institutes, or if I have to do, definitely I'll try to take such steps. Yes. If I'm not getting into any big institutes, also at a personal level also we can take such steps where we can plunge ourselves into self-learning and personalized way of learning. So that's it, that's the message from our side. And I hope you have liked it and it helped you a little bit, if not much. So that's the experience from our side. If you have something to tell, you are all free to tell us, and we are here to receive you. Yes, Ajith, please.
Do give us your feedback about this or your experiences. If you, if at all you have experienced such kind of self-learnings or anything, do let us know. And thank you for watching.
Thank you.